I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator. It's because he is. It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully.
Is there something going on that we're missing?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, whose balls is he hiding in his cheeks? That's the first question I want to know. And I don't love the way he says, fierce.
Tim Walz's carefully polished image just went up in smoke, and Tyrus is the one striking the match. He doesn't hold back for a second. He tears apart Walz's entire public act and puts it on full display. This isn't a random rant or a heat-of-the-moment jab. This is Tyrus going full scorched earth, digging into Walz's past like he's forcing open a locked vault. What spills out is wilder than a late-night circus. And once Tyrus cuts loose, there's no escape. Walz has nowhere left to run and absolutely nothing left.
It's because he is. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully, to watch this bully and to stop it. And when it's a child, you talk to them and you tell them why bullying's wrong. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the out of him back. This is a weak, cruel man that takes it out and...
Tyrus didn't just roll out of bed, sip coffee, and casually drop Tim's name. He woke up, scrolled through the endless headlines, saw the chaos building, and decided enough was enough. And when Tyrus says enough, it's never calm. It hits like a WWE promo, loud, explosive, and promising chaos, fireworks, and a full-body slam straight through the political coffee table.
Is deeply part of it. That's one of the, I mean, I think it goes, you know, and you can look at the reasons why we've had this sort of dialectic over the Me Too movement.
How do you fight it?
And well, this notion
I think
of
I could kick most of their.
What he's mad about is his own fault. He's mad about the image that was portrayed of him as the hunter. And who did that? You did that. We just laughed about it because the one thing you can't do is you can't front. You can't floss. Those are two key words when it comes to...
If you're loving this takedown, hit that subscribe button now. There he is, Tyrus unloading on Tim, and people are stunned. Not because Tyrus is loud, he always is, but because the spotlight hits Minnesota's relatable dad-turned-governor, and that smooth, friendly image starts cracking wide open like a Walmart parking lot riddled with potholes.
Yeah. A teacher snatches the bully's ass up. Yeah. Come sit with me. That's what I know. Someone's bullying. Oh, you can sit with me for a while. And then I would lean on him. I'd bully him back. He's not a teacher. He's not a politician. He's a creepy guy who can't remember his speeches. I don't know what the hell was in the water in that White House, or was everyone on the same bad cocaine? But Kamala can't speak. He can't speak. Biden was so high he couldn't remember anything. Like, this is literally the dumbest administration of all time. Why is he talking?
It really is the ultimate clown show. And I said this in the pod. He's a clown without a...
Tim Walz.
Walsh has been sold to America as the calm, regular guy next door. The neighbor who helps you move a couch, waves from his lawnmower, maybe even shows up at the church picnic with a bowl of potato salad. But Tyrus isn't buying it. He's poking that whole image with a fork, giving it a hard look, and saying, "This doesn't taste like real authenticity." To him, it smells like politics left out in the sun for way too long. Feel bad for Eli.
I would be furious if I was him. Mm-hmm. If this is who you sent to troll me?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong to get the guy from D Team to come out at Family Theater and call me names?
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I would, if they were like, oh, Tyrus, man, tough news cycle. Tim Walz is talking about you. I'd be like, old Timmy, I want to fight him so.
And that's where the first punch lands. Tyrus doesn't see Walsh as the lovable small-town everyman. He sees a smooth politician, mastered and smiling while sliding new policies under the door, like a hotel bill you never agreed to pay. On paper, Tim's background reads like a made-for-TV inspiration story. Teacher, football coach, veteran, champion of small-town values. You hear that and think, State Farm commercial vibes, check. But here's the problem. Once Tim stepped into office, the script didn't match the performance. That's where Tyrus digs in, because nothing fires people up more than the gap between political promises and reality. And Tim's gap's massive, wider than a Minnesota pothole in dead of winter. Tyrus doesn't pull out spreadsheets or binders. He wields the hammer of comedy, calling out Tim's greatest hits, like COVID lockdowns that somehow made it legal to buy alcohol at a gas station but illegal to sit in a church pew. And he doesn't stop.
Tweets, my DMs, like just one arm, and I just want to slap the. He's so weak. He brings nothing. If you were gonna go after someone, man to man, hit him with a fact. Hit him with something real.
Yes.
You don't have anything. And here's the cold part. If Elon called him up and said, "Hey Tim, you want a job?" he would take it, because that's what spineless. He would, and when he was questioned, he was like, "I was just holding him in account. You know, I respect him, and I'm so happy to be working for X." He is the worst player on their team, and they don't mind sending him out because
They're trying to get him off the table.
Yeah.
They're putting him out early so he can't be a fact.
Tyrus lays out the contradictions, the inconsistencies, and the political flip-flops Walz has stacked over the years, like a collector's edition of Pokemon cards. Only this set doesn't make him a hero. It makes him a punchline. 1 minute, Walz is all in. The next, he's backing away like it never happened, always drifting with whichever political wind blows that day. And if you think Tyrus is letting that slide, think again. He doesn't just call it a flip-flop. He turns Walz into a full-blown circus act. Every pivot becomes a backflip worthy of Cirque du Soleil, perfectly executed just to stay comfortable in politics. Honestly, Tyrus paints it so vividly. You half expect Walz to trade in the governor's mansion for a trapeze. It's like claiming you shop at Target while rolling up in a black SUV worth more than your mortgage.
Levine, look, he has a sports coat and a zip-up sweater underneath. No man wears that.
I may have done that in the past.
Yes.
I won't now, Tyrus.
No, and one day somebody's going to explain what a corporate income tax is to these people. It's not paid by this. It's not paid by the corporation. It's not like a building that goes, "I've got to pay taxes." It's the work.
The gap between Tim's image and reality is so wide, you could march the entire Minnesota Vikings offensive line through it and still have room for the mascot. And it gets juicier. Tyrus doesn't stop at policies or flip-flops. He targets the performance itself. Because modern politics isn't just policy, it's theater. Walz knows how to play his part. The tone, the look, the friendly, everyman act. But to Tyrus, it's all smoke and mirrors. Watching him is like seeing a magician at a kid's birthday party. Everyone gasps at the trick, but Tyrus is in the back yelling, "Check his sleeve." Once the illusion cracks, there's no going back. Tim's ordinary guy persona doesn't feel real. It's a political Instagram filter. The first crack appeared during the pandemic. Gyms locked down. Liquor stores stayed open. But the harshest spotlight hit after George Floyd's death, when the streets erupted, businesses burned, and fear spread. Strong leadership was needed, but Walz delivered hesitation, delay, and confusion. Tyrus doesn't hold back. He paints a picture of Walz frozen in the chaos, holding a garden hose at 5, praying the wind blows the flames away before...
That's a big red flag. Whenever you meet someone and they have to give you their resume,
yes.
and then as soon as they talk, you're like, "That's why you gave me your resume."
Yeah, because it doesn't speak for itself.
You suck.
Yeah. It's like when people have their PhD on their Twitter handle. It's like, you know, this person's completely bonkers.
And their pronouns.
Yes. Are you mad, though, Tyrus, that, like, beards have been kind of co-opted by beta males like Tyler?
Oh,
No, because
Watch what you say.
it's like all. Wait, hold on. Watch what I say. I will around, stick my hand up your back, and make you.
That's where the sarcasm hits its peak. Tyrus doesn't just say Walz failed. He turns it into a full-blown sitcom gone wrong. He tells it like your neighbor who promises to fix the fence, but shows up with nothing but duct tape and a shrug. And that image sticks. By the time he's done, Walz isn't just a politician with a few missteps. He's a walking contradiction wrapped in a cardigan of folksy charm, hoping nobody notices the messy policies barely held together underneath. What makes Tyrus's takedown sting isn't just the lines he uses, it's how he delivers them. He doesn't sound like a stiff analyst buried in charts. He sounds like that loud uncle at Thanksgiving who finally snaps and declares the turkey bone dry. Walz, of course, has a talent for big promises. Free this, expanded that, opportunities for everyone. On paper, it sounds like Minnesota is about to transform into a Nordic-style dreamland, complete with lakes, loons, and affordable health care for every goldfish.
Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, feels sorry for him. But
when it comes time to actually deliver, the whole plan looks less like a polished strategy and more like a middle school group project thrown together at the last minute. That's when Tyrus really hits his stride and swings hard. He points out how Walz talks like the hero in a Hallmark movie, but governs like someone who tossed the script in the trash and started making it up on the spot. His politics is karaoke. You know the song, but by the second verse, he's mumbling through the words, hoping no one notices. Take taxes, for example. Walz loves to sell himself as the champion of working families. Yet those same families keep opening their mail to find bigger tax bills staring back at them. And Tyrus doesn't hide behind dull-budget talk. He paints a picture of Walz sneaking into your house at night, rifling through couch cushions for spare change, and then
you got something there?
Hold on, before we do this, man, I got to protein up. Hold on.
Chug. Oh, he's chugging it. Holy
I need more protein, Gutfeld. I got my protein pudding, my protein shakes, jerky if you piss me off, but this ain't enough protein for this segment, Greg. I gotta old school this story here.
While Minnesota schools are sliding fast, test scores are falling, curriculum battles are blowing up, and parents are left more confused than a cat thrown into a swimming pool. Tyrus sinks into the irony. A governor who once taught kids about responsibility now can't seem to steer the state's education ship without crashing into iceberg after iceberg. Then there's law and order, and the contradictions there could fill a whole Netflix series. Walz plays the soft-spoken, empathetic leader, talking about justice, fairness, and reform. But bam, the streets erupt, businesses are boarded up, and leaders scramble with no clear plan. Tyrus calls it out like a bad sitcom, painting a scene of the governor walking into pure chaos, clapping his hands and saying, "All right, guys, let's calm down," while everything unravels around him like Black Friday at Walmart. And then comes his military background. Walz served, and that's supposed to be his badge of credibility. The leadership card he pulls out whenever someone questions his choices. The political equivalent of flashing old baby pictures.
All right, guys, let's calm down, while everything unravels around him like Black Friday at Walmart. And then comes his military background. Walz served, and that's supposed to be his badge of credibility. The leadership card he pulls out whenever someone questions his choices. The political equivalent of flashing old baby pictures to win an argument.
I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there? I got to tell you, pointing out just an observation of mine that I made. I just have to say it. You know it, you feel it. These guys are.
Here's the kicker. Tyrus doesn't just point out the contradictions. He mocks the performance itself. Walz has perfected the art of looking stern when it serves him and cheerful when the polls demand a smile. Tyrus calls it pure political shape-shifting, like one of those mood rings from the 90s. Whatever the public feels, Walz suddenly mirrors it, turning himself into a full-on political chameleon. And that's where the comedy gold hits. Tyrus doesn't waste a second. He paints Walz as the kind of guy who literally rehearses empathy in the mirror, asking, "Do I look concerned? Should I tilt my head 30 degrees, maybe 45 degrees?" It's exaggerated on purpose, but the image sticks. Suddenly, you can't help picturing Walz practicing his "I care deeply" face in the bathroom before every press conference at the same time. Tyrus tears into Walz's favorite word, unity. Walz loves to preach about bringing people together. Sounds noble, right? Except under his watch, Minnesota has been about as united as a family Monopoly game after 2 hours, Boards flipped, rules argued, and someone storming out of
Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps. I wonder, is our strength our diversity?
Our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them.
So, wait, you lost because you weren't woken.